What's up, everybody? Little Big Robots toy shop back today, looking at another little version of a big robot. A really strange one. This is kind of an odd one, but this is the Gundam Barbataurus, Barbataurus, from Gundam Breaker Battlogue. It's a 1/144 scale HG kit. If you don't know, there's a little bit of the lore there. This is essentially, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the Gundam Breaker Battlogue mini-sodes, there's about 6 of them. Go watch them right now on Gundam.info. Just go there and go to their Gundam.info YouTube page. And they've got all sorts of free animations on there and some really good stuff. And right now they're putting up some different movies. If you never saw Reconquista NG, those kind of shows, it's on there right now. This is the main bad guy from the show. In the mini episodes, I'm not going to explain it all because I have to every time. I got about 20 of these kits to review. But essentially, it's in a virtual world. You have a VR Gundam that you control, and you kind of play in this VR world. And this is an evil guy, and according to this little 6-episode mini-series, he does some evil stuff. And this is his suit that he built, and then you scan it into the little thing there on the little pad, and then it appears in the virtual world, and you control it. This Battlogue is really attempting to encourage people to do these swaps, these modular swaps that you can do with Gunpla a lot anyway. But what's really funny is a lot of the examples they show of it, if you look in here, are completely and absolutely hideous. Just hideous. So really kind of funny looking stuff there. Sorry, I had to grab my little packaging. So this guy is basically based on the Barbataurus from Iron-Blooded Orphans. If you haven't watched Iron-Blooded Orphans, or if you don't know what it is, Iron-Blooded Orphans is one of the series they had for a while. And I think it's 2 or 3 seasons, I can't remember. It's super serious, and it's like kids piloting mechs and war, and it's kind of classic Gunpla or Gundam storytelling in that way. It's got some fantastic action, but honestly, I didn't enjoy it that much. I enjoyed it later, but as with a lot of Gunpla shows, kind of Gundam shows, it's a little bit not pretentious, but a little bit stuck on itself. Think it's more serious than it is. But it's a good series. The action is really good. And this is based on a suit, which is essentially just this front half of the Centaur bot here. If you've ever seen the Barbataurus, if not, go look it up. And it's a cool suit, the main suit in it. But this evil person took it and made a Centaur out of it. Now, there's a lot going on here. In the cartoon, they didn't really go through a lot of it. He lost an actual one of his. So it comes like this, the actual little horn there. He lost in a battle, and so that's why he's pissed off, I guess. He really wants revenge for hurting his model or something and losing or whatever. There are a few stickers on it, not very many. And of course, the stickers they have are pretty easy to place, as is kind of the standard thing. There's a good little wire tail here. This comes from the Barbataurus later in the series. He has like a tail thing. It's an interesting design. Is it really a clever design? It's kind of clever-ish. But one thing you'll notice here, it's essentially the legs. This is one of the Barbataurus, the original one's legs, and this is like a later version. So you have essentially the legs they took and they bent them backwards so that you're now walking on your tippy toes. So you've got this kind of interesting foot. Normally, Iron-Blooded Orphans kits, GBO or IBO kits, have this absolutely ridiculous foot. I hate this foot design. I don't know. I was so tired of seeing it by the end of the series that when I build an IBO kit and I see that foot, I just get kind of sad. I just hate this foot design. I don't want to say it's lazy, but it's one of those ones that you would think is kind of innovative, but then you realize it's kind of, not only does it look huge, but it's kind of lazy. I'd rather see a standard foot that doesn't need to rely. I mean, how often do you need to do that? You're going to roll your ankle in a giant robot. So other than the feet, it's pretty standard stuff for an IBO kit. But it's got some clever reuse of parts. They did add new parts. For example, here on the arms, you basically have the same upper body, but you pull the arms off and you put these, what would look like almost like a skirt, these are called skirts on the side. of the legs that kind of protect the legs like armor. So once you get done and you're finished assembling, you set it up. It's a little bit floppy. It's not the easiest kit to kind of hold in one position. But the main issue I have with this is that it's really not necessary. If you look here, that basically you've got the standard IBO Barbataurus kit. Oh, geez, you see how easy it can fall off too? And then you've got this special waist that it came with. Not only does it look longer and thinner, which I like that they made it longer and thinner, but you can easily, let's just pull this off here, and you can see that they just designed, oh, drop the legs. So they just designed basically a different waist with the hole in it. This right here, if they were to release and put out more versions of this kind of a part alone, would be really handy. But what I don't understand is why they took the upper body, instead of just having the legs kind of connect more closely. See if I can show you. Kind of more like that. Instead of sprawled out this far, it looks kind of like a horse. This way it would look more like a little bit more of a compact body, but instead you have this long body here, which connects like that. If I don't have it incorrectly here. Oops, how did I do it? This way, sorry. Connects like that. And then you have the spine, which is up under here where my thumb is right here. And then the legs connect. And so you have this big gap there that makes it feel, that's why they put these skirts here. If you look at it without the skirts down, you can see how thin that section is. It just doesn't feel very sturdy. So it's not a bad design, it's just kind of an unusual design. But I mean, if you look at the Barbataurus with just the silhouette of the standard Gunpla, it is actually kind of a cool looking, they basically emphasized it to be much more long and thin, as you can see. So it kind of looks a little more evil to me, it looks a little more cartoony, less realistic, quote unquote, but this is inside the VR game, so it can be like that. The color scheme is really cool. I like this kind of a smoky purple with the dark blue, the dark reds with some of the brighter reds. It really is a nice, really nice color scheme. But again, I'm not really sure that this was necessary to do it this way. You can see how they reused a bunch of parts, but I don't mind that, because ideally, the idea is, I should say, that some kid is remaking, is building their own Gunpla using Gunpla's standard Gunpla parts. That's why they're often based on a suit. So this kind of makes sense that he would have taken existing kits and just kind of reworked them. So you could see here, if you just kind of reversed the back legs like that, and now you've got standard Barbataurus right there, except of course that's probably not a good look right there, but you know what I'm saying. So you've just got the standard legs, and all that he's done, or all that the kid did was turn around the feet and then use these kind of tippy toe shoes, feet, things. So they work a little bit more like how it would on a horse or whatever, or on a dog, I should say. So it's more dog-like. So it's interesting. I'm not blown away by it. If you get into some cool poses and you can do this kind of stuff with it, it does look really cool. But you can see just how kind of they really concentrated on the silhouette more than anything, which is really cool, don't get me wrong. But it made for a bit of a flimsy kit, but once you get it posed, it's going to look really cool. You do get some cool weapons. You get this neat bow and arrow, and then you get an arrow that he can it's designed to hold in the hand. It's just got a little thing that you can slide into the hand, and then he's going to hold that, and his other hand will be pulling back the bow. So that's the pose I didn't get that pose for this particular review because it was going to be so finicky. I knew I'd want to take it apart and stuff. You get some standard weapons that you got with the Barbataurus, and then so even if you get it and just keep it like that as an individual kind of figure, that's kind of cool looking. Even just with the bow, I'm thinking of putting it just like that. But on my shelf, I'll end up putting it on the Centaur version. But minus all that, you get kind of some cool parts. You could probably do some neat stuff like let's see if I can get this in here. Some weird walker thing. You could do there's some neat little parts in it. As you can see, all the prices that I typically get on my kits when I buy from my local shop is about 26 bucks. That's about run for the money for each kit I've gotten so far. If you paid more, you're probably just because of shipping or whatever. You can find these pretty easily. Now they were hard to find for a while because they were only in Target for a while, and now they're everywhere. So, but as I said, to sum up, I kind of enjoy this singular kit, you know, suit like that. I think he looks kind of cool. He's really, really thin, and just his silhouette is so cool looking like that. This part is okay, but it just feels a bit weak to me. Again, that makes for an interesting looking thing. So if you get it and you display it, it's going to be kind of cool looking. So not a bad kit. Hope you enjoyed, everybody. I've got about 1 million of these things and other toys to review. So please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of this year, which I think I can do it just for the fun of it. And have a good one, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.